our channel, A Trade of You. I'm Amy.
And I'm One. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe and press the bell to be the first to see our videos.
Okay. And today's interview is with Kashane Swaby. Yes! We have a bespoke designer in our presence from Brum via Jamaica.
So, Kashane, is that what you'd like to go by?
Yes. A lot of people know me by Keisha.
Okay, so who are you wearing?
I'm wearing me.
2 snaps. She did not come to play. She came to slay.
Yeah.
In her Kashane Swaby.
That was good.
So, guys, we're going to post some pictures and stuff via our social media. If they look a bit different or because wearing different clothes, it's because basically we had to do the video again. So thank you so much, Kashane.
No, you're welcome.
We really appreciate
you coming back a second time because we had technical difficulties.
It happens to the best of us, honey.
Yeah, but they won't stop us, honey. They will not slow us down. We're back. Better than ever, baby.
Okay, so Kashane, okay. So you're obviously in fashion.
Yeah.
So when did you want that to become your career?
I would say I've always wanted to be a fashion designer. I think I couldn't have escaped something to do with clothing. It had to be in the art base. My dad, he's great at drawing. My uncle does the same. My mom makes curtains. You name it, mom made it. Like she made it. She made it.
Good hands.
So yeah, she made it. And I think growing up in Jamaica, we had all of our school uniforms and so forth like made. Mm-hmm. So I was around all of that. I was around seeing dresses being made, school clothes being made. Like I cannot recall a time or a child in Jamaica that actually bought their school clothes. It was always buy the material and take it to the tailor. So I've always been around that, and I was always curious. And then I think when I came here when I was 9, I don't know if anybody had this, but it was really weird for me. I would, have my little showers and stuff, and I used to take the towel and I would see how many times I could wrap the towel around me to create an outfit.
Sick.
And my mom would be like, no, let her go in the shower last because she's taking forever. And honestly, I would have a shower and then come out, stand in front of the mirror, be like, okay, wrap it like this, off shoulder, one shoulder. And I'll be there doing all of that for hours. And then I realized that little things like that was embedded in me from ages. And then it kind of just blossomed when I kind of got here and went to school and, all the crafts and stuff that we had to go into kind of just made me realize that, you just feel at home. Yeah. Like you just feel like you found yourself and you felt so much comfortable. Yeah. And I think like that was when I thought, okay, I had to do something art related. And then here I am.
Nice.
Oh, so would you say then that fashion was your passion, like always?
Always. I am one of those people that when you go out with me, like, even if we're going to the shop, I couldn't care less. I'm dressing to go to the shop. Especially if I haven't been at the house all day.
Yeah, that is me, honey.
I'm showing out.
Girl, I'm gonna go out there thinking that I'm gonna go on the red carpet because honestly, I couldn't. You know Jamaican shit, you never know who you might see.
Yeah, that's what my mom said.
That means you gotta be dressing.
And make sure your drawers clean. If you drop the hotel room,
the ambulance are coming in,
make sure everything
don't bring
looks good.
disgrace on the fuck. Yeah, that was.
And just true saying not the money. Everybody not saying not the money. It's a Jamaican now.
No, it's the truth. Honestly, I would say, like, it's my passion. Honestly, it's my passion, and it's something that I'm really. It means a lot to me. It's not just about just making the clothes for me. It's more about the story behind why I do it and who I want to touch from doing what I'm doing. How can I help in what I'm doing? A lot of people have different ways to reach out to people, but for me, this is my way of reaching out. And it might not make sense to a lot of other people, but to myself, I know how I can use my talent, my gifts to
be
bring
a voice,
to something
and express
else.
yourself.
Exactly. So I feel like that's for me, definitely.
I totally get that.
Okay. So, do you remember the first thing that you designed?
Oh, girl. Tried it on the other day, saying that, and girls got a little bit curvy now, you know what I mean?
Okay, curvy now.
It got a little bit curvy since then. But yeah, I found it the other day and I tried it on and I was like, oh, and it couldn't really pass there. So I was like, let me take it off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in a frame at home
Yeah.
to just remember. It was a black velvet, I love velvet, black velvet skirt, and it had like all the frills, red, and like the frill at the back. More like I want a Spanishy,
Yeah.
Latino,
Seasonal.
you know,
Yeah.
that kind of skirt, but more like beaded with all the embroidery. I think on there it's got that little embroidery patch on the side, and that was the first time I've ever used an embroidery machine. And like, for me, that was really good because like being so young and seeing the machine doing all these amazing things just made me realize, oh yeah, like we're in your element. And yeah, it's a really, really nice skirt. The weird thing about that skirt is the whole lot of drama around that skirt. I'm telling you, a whole lot of drama because I remember sitting in school and we did the project, and I lost the documents for the project. Like we had like folders and stuff, and I lost it. But the good thing about it was we had the exam board. They came in and they used my work as a model student, and it was marked and stuff. And I was well excited and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take this home to my mom. Yeah, I got high grades and yeah. And I lost it. Up until this very moment, don't know where it's at, but I lost it.
Man.
I was so emotional, like to see that at the age that I was so emotional because I thought being so passionate about something and then not having the evidence to show and then not knowing if you're gonna get the grade because you know how hard you. I would be sitting at school at 6 o'clock in the evening just to make sure that I get this.
Oh,
thing
you
done.
was dedicated.
Girl, that was honestly, and that was the one time my mom would be okay with letting me stay out.
To study, yeah.
She'd be like, yeah, you were at school, and I was like, yeah. But I really was. I really was, and I lost it, but I was okay afterwards, and I literally was crying because I thought, oh my God, I've got to do this back within 2 weeks time frame, make the garments and stuff. And my teacher came to me and she was like, no, Dee, they marked it, we've got it on board, they've seen it, so it's not that we're lying on you, on your behalf or anything.
They already had proof
and
of your
everything.
work anyway.
And honestly, I remember like going through the whole class at the time and looking for your work, and I remember I started at the back of the class and I was like, okay, I lost my work, so if I get a pass, I'm okay, and even though I wasn't. And I started from the back and I walked around because the classroom was like shaped like a little arch kind of thing, and I started at the back and I walked around and I was like, okay, now I can't find my work. Where's my work? And I got to the front, and I believe it, I got 94 out of 100.
Wow!
Yes! I'm so excited because I know the hard work that I put in it, and that then itself just made me realize how much that when you're called to do something, and you put the work in, everything will just fall in place. And that was one of my first times to make me realize that this is what you need to be doing.
Praise God.
This is what I need to be doing.
So you said you studied fashion in school. Did you study outside school, uni, college?
So I did it at college, and then I went on to did it at school first, and then went on to college, and I did a sociology, law, and art. And then, because I like law as well, but I just work into the whole line thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not good at line. Like my face just my face just give everything away. So I was like, no, I can't do that. But I did law and sociology, and I did art, and then I realized that in order for me to go off to uni, I needed to get a lot more experience in just art and just fine arts, graphics, all these things that will possibly help me to be a better fashion designer. Because fashion is not just about the making clothes, but you can create a piece with a graphic design and print it on it and create that unique you. And I did all of that, did the fine arts, did the graphics, and I stayed back a year. So whereas my year they went ahead and they probably did what they needed to and finished before I did, I wanted to make sure that when I got to uni I earned my place. I made sure when I got there no one can play with me like that, because I know exactly what I work hard for, I know what I'm doing, and what I'm here for, you just add to. Do you know what I mean? So I did that. I did a BTEC National Diploma, which was really good, and I'm so glad I did it because I just thought, oh my, everyone was like, no, you're all right, just go on, you can. And I was like, no, because I really want to do this thing properly. I don't want to get there and think, oh my God, I'm too stressed because I didn't know this. I want to make sure I go there, get what I need to get, and get out. And just doing that, I've earned myself a distinction.
Whoa, yes! Wait, let's give it. Wait a minute now.
So I got myself a distinction, which was really good because back then, I don't know about now, but they would give you like bursaries and so forth.
Back then.
Which was really good. Say back then, let's say back then.
Back when I was at bursaries, honey, they came.
I remember that. So.
Yes, of course, I had that, which is really good because fashion is expensive. Expensive. Just getting the material is expensive. I needed to make sure that I was solid so that when I got to uni, I had everything that I could to better me and to support me. So yeah,
that's really good. So what is the very first thing that you've made? Can you remember?
I made the skirt. But do you know what? To be honest with you, the first thing that I made prior to the skirt was a felt doll.
Okay.
Had nothing to do with clothes. It was a felt doll, and that really, if I'm not that really irritated me. Because I came from Jamaica. And back in Jamaica, it's all about hard work, you know, make sure that you get this, and you know, you never bow with gospel in your mouth, say, I have to do this, and you have to work your way up, and you have to do that. So I had all of that behind me, and so when I came to England, being 9, and then my mum saying to me, you know, you just go to school for the duration of 2 weeks before you break up and stuff. And then I got there, and the people were making felt doll. I was just so annoyed. I was so hard. Hold on. Just hold on. And to be honest, the whole class had felt dolls, threads and buttons, and
you're coming from Jamaica. We do maths. I was doing join up writing and
everything, and then I came here and y'all were making felt dolls.
And they making dollars.
And I mean, I was annoyed. I remember going back home and I said to Mama, I'm not going back. That was an insult. I remember telling my mom I didn't want to go back at all. I just didn't get it. Why? Like, why were they not doing work with me? Why were they not like, you know,
do no maths,
so easy,
no English, do no science.
No, and the whole class was like fully
and not
dressed in school clothes to make felt dolls.
Yeah.
While I was there struggling, like making sure that I had my grades and all these things and stuff. But then going back, I really applaud my mom for pushing me to going back to like, even though I never have no choice from that, I've tried, but I never actually have none. But I'm glad I went back, because in doing that, somehow it unlocked a level of like creativity in me that probably I don't think even though I knew something was there, but it made me realize that, okay, then in these little things you found out little ways that you can make, you know, certain things that could probably push you to that direction. And I think making those felt dolls really made me connect with myself in a sense. What do I like, you know, which road do I want to go down? Do I really want to do this? And knowing that in so small, the challenge that you might face, because I'm telling you, that one doll was hard as hell to make, you know, because how do you sew the back to the front and stuff the things in the middle, like that was hard.
But you can do maths, you can do science.
That was hard, but still.
Yeah.
I kept on, I did it, I remember doing it. By the end of the week we sorted, and I made little dresses and square little dresses for the doll. And then I remember going home and I said to Mom, like, that was good. And she got me the actual equipments to make, and I made more felt dolls, and I made more. And then I realized that I think she realized that I liked it that much. Then she started to get me to watch her do the duvets and stuff and the quilts, and I used to sit there and think, oh, that's the stitch that I use on the felt doll. That's what Mom's doing. Yeah. And then I realized the two actually connect. And I was doing that, weirdly enough, me and my mom bonded in a way that I didn't, because I came in when I was 9. So I didn't live with my mom. I lived with my grandparents. So from 9 months old to 9 years, I didn't have that motherly bonding. So I bonded with my mom out of something that I realized that she had a passion for. Yeah. And I think she realized that in me. Yeah. And she, you know, given that you're from Jamaica, not a lot of parents probably end up doing the things that they really loved because of looking after kids and all the things that life threw at them. But then I realized, she realized that I had that passion, and she was trying to like steer me by.
And she was nurturing it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing this good. Do you want to see I made it? And then I realized that I was doing the same technique in the felt doll, and in that way we bonded and we talked about things, and she got me my, you know, she allowed me to use her brother machine, which was so great because I was like, the first time I'm on the machine.
Brother, I remember I asked my mum for a sewing machine for Christmas because I never get it. Because I wanted to sew my clothes so badly, but you know.
No, like she made me use her brother machine, something that she's had, it was a gift to her. Yeah. And she made me use it. And I tell you, it was one of the most fulfilling like moments of my life, like being on this thing and doing it and stuff like that. I think my first project my end of year project at college, she allowed me to use her machine. And I feel like to get that distinction with her, you know, it was that connection.
Yeah,
it was so nice.
She was with you on that whole journey.
It was really nice. It was really nice.
Oh. Do you have any inspirations or anyone that inspired you to get in fashion? But I feel like that would be your mum.
Yeah, my mum, I would say, started it all off. Just seeing the love that she has for just making stuff at home and all this stuff. She made this horrible sheet though. Oh my God. She made this horrible stripy blue sheet, with some hideous buttons. And at the time, I had hatred for certain buttons because they looked really nasty. And she would turn the sheet and put the buttons facing me. This is as a torture. And I would go at the bottom of the bed and be like, I'm not doing this, Bob. And then I realized that, listen, Bob, you cannot. I think those little things I realized so much that she was the one that like helped me a lot. Yeah. And then as I grew older, I realized that, you know, she's now getting older, so she has a lot more things to focus on. And I had to then go on the journey on my own. And then, thank God for Jesus, I had my daughter. So kind of pushed me a lot more, knowing that now she's now watching me as I watch my
she's
mom.
your inspiration.
So it's like my mom, I wouldn't say my mom fell off, but obviously getting older and things like that, you know, it's not being able to sew as much. And then now I had my daughter and I'm thinking, I was looking at my mom for that, so she must be doing the same thing. And then now seeing how she has, I've got a little sewing machine now, and she does a little sewing herself, and I realize that she's looking at me. So that's it's so a vice
generation. Oh, that's so nice.
So now I would say she's my biggest, my daughter now. I make sure that everything I do, even like I had this show as well, and she was there. She's like, she refused to go to my mom's house. She was like, I don't want to go to Nan's because I don't want to do the final walk with you, Mom. And just simple things, just simple things like that, just made me realize that she's watching. And it's not just about me anymore, but it's about her. And if she's watching, how many more other people are watching? So and it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing because you have to like live up to all of these things.
Expectations.
But at the end of the day, I think that's what we're here for. Not only
it's your calling.
It's not only to fulfill your dream or your desires and stuff, but it's to touch people along the way. And I feel like this is why I say like I feel like fashion is not just about making clothes, but who you can use it for to touch their lives. And I feel like that's what I'm called. Like there's a lot of ministries and stuff out there, like you can sing, you can dance, whatever. But I feel like this is mine, and you know, and I really do want to not only put out great pieces, but to inspire other people so that, you know, we carry on, not just as being people who are depending on other people, but people who actually use the skills and the gift that God gave us to touch other people.
Yes, amen. Walk in your purpose.
So I feel like that. I'm on the right path and I'm doing that, even though it's hard, but
you're on the right track, girl.
So, do you design your pieces or do you have a team? And if so, what's your process of design?
So I tend to do a lot of things by myself in the sense where the designing process. So I will come up with the concept and I will explore this concept until Jesus comes back. Like I will like degrade it down like to this little thing and but it always has to be something that's quite current. So if it's when I say current, not trend related, but society wise. So if it's something about, I don't know, just us as people, you know, what do we stand for, things like that. I like to do things that are bring social awareness. So I don't just want to just create a piece because it's trending or because trend go and come. But if I can create something that will be here forever, that someone else can use to tell a story later on in life, that's what I'm about. And I will go out and I will research about it because I feel like you have to, as a designer or as a person who is within the creative field, because no one sees what's here. I have to tell you what's here for you to see. Do you know what I mean? And when you see, you then get another perspective of it. But I have to research. So if it means I've got to go all the way down to London to just get this little thing, I will do that because when I talk about it like this, I have something to back up what I'm saying. And then it doesn't just then be just the fashion, but it's the whole story behind it. So I will do my research do all my research. I would even go down to the colours. The reason why I'm using certain colours, because this colour means this, the colour means that. Okay. And I will do all of that, and then I will sample everything. So if I'm creating a dress, I will sample the dress down, and I will make it as a rough copy first, and then I will see if it fits. Get the modelling. Does it fit the model? Does it fit the way I want it to? Does it sit on the body? Does it fall the right way? All of these things. And then we source the actual fabric that it's going to be made out of. And then we then do the same thing over in the actual fabric and do the shoots and all of these amazing things for it. So it's a little bit of a process, but it's worth it because you can document that process, and then you can replay it back to people. And like I do, you know, classes sometimes in Coventry College, and I will do in Aston University. Okay. And I like to, because I think people just think you make it, get a dress, you make it, and that's it. And it's not.
It's so much deeper than that.
There's a whole lot more that goes into it, and I like to show people that because people get a whole lot of interpretation in terms of fashion, and I like to show people that it's not just an overnight thing. This is probably like a thing. You know, I've had my collection that I released just yesterday, and I tell you that this collection was like probably over a year and a half in making. Just to show you how much goes into it. And then sometimes you do it, and then at the very end it's like, oh no, that doesn't work, you have to scrap it all. So there's a lot of process that goes into it, and then you have to market that product. But then people underestimate the process, and that's just general life. People don't like the process, they like the end result. But in the process there's growth. In the process you can look back at that and think, okay, then this was what I can do, and this is what might be useful for next time. And I always tell these people, trust the process. I'm telling you, because through the process, you learn a lot about yourself, a lot about your team, a lot about who needs to be on the team, and you know, all of these things. Because
your strengths, weaknesses.
And then, you know, once I do the whole toile of the garment, then we have a group of girls that works with myself. And then we'll come in, and there's different sections to it. I like to do all the hand beaded and all the lace detail stuff. So if I make the piece, then the next process is they will then do the hand beaded stuff, and then we will. It's like a one stage and after a stage, and then like different people that will do the different stages.
That's really good. So you really have to be able to trust your team.
Yeah, definitely. Because girl, you put on one bead and that's it.
Everything to detail.
Yes, it's a lot of detail. It's a lot of detail I go into, but trust me, I do like my team. They're amazing.
Pick up the team. So you open your own store. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what inspired you to do that and take that like leap of faith?
So I decided I wanted to have a showroom only because of the fact that when my daughter was young, and you know, things, because it wasn't easy, because I had to open the store when my daughter was pretty much a couple months old.
Oh, wow.
And I thought I needed to have it because thank God for Jesus, things were growing. And I didn't want to have people coming in my house, because I wanted to separate my daughter's space and my space from work. And when you're working for yourself, you want to have that distinction between going to work and coming home, so that it seems a lot more real, and it's not just, oh, I'm staying at home and I'm working from home. Not that I don't do that, but then there's a lot more structure to going to work. And I did that because I wanted to have space. I wanted to put a lot more belief in myself, because I felt like if I stayed at home, I'd probably be slacking a little bit, or making excuses here and there. And when, you know, because it was all I had. It was all I had. Like, it got to a stage where I was working in like a care company, and I would be doing loads of hours, and then it just went to zero. And I thought, oh God, like I can't. And then I realized, I thought, okay, I'm going to do this because I think that you're trying to tell me something that I got. And I did it. And when I finally did it, I needed to make everything feel as work you would when I was going to work. So I had to make that sacrifice and just say, okay, this is it, and just give it my all. And trust me, believing in yourself despite the odds is a great thing. Like, even if no one else does, once you do, and once you can see your vision, and once you know the steps that you need to take to get there, trust me, do everything, because I'm a living testimony that works.
Did you find it hard believing in yourself in the beginning, or did you always have that fighting spirit there?
I've always, the one thing about me is I really do believe in my what I can do. I believe solely, like, I'm Christian, so I really do believe that if you put it to God and you believe in yourself, God ain't gonna leave you high and dry. And I just gave it my all. I told myself that, Dave, you know what you can do. You might not have all the people to help you do what you can do at this present moment, but once you believe in yourself and you align that with the word of God, trust me, all things are possible. And that's exactly what I did. I just told myself, like, you can do this. And at this time, bear in mind, I didn't have nothing. I never had a showroom, I never had nothing. All I had was a domestic machine. And I remembered, like, believing in myself and talking to myself about it. Like, I used to say things that weren't even so. And it might seem like lying to other people, but I spoke it. I spoke it and it happened. And I remember saying to my sister at the time, my sister was stopping at my house, and I was saying to her, I need an industrial machine. And I remember I was like, okay, I got the money, but like, I don't really know if it's going to be good getting the machine. And I remember, like, I went on the internet and I found the machine that I wanted. And I was like, oh my God, am I going to get it? And my sister said, listen, you need to take this risk and get it. And I got it, and it came to my house. And I say, when I got it, given the fact that that was my own money that got the machine, that was the first step to say, Dee, you're on your way. You're on your way. You got your own industrial machine now. Do you know what I mean? And things like that just made me feel like, yes, this is you. You know, each step that God just aligned. And I did Birmingham Fashion Festival, and when I did that show, the amount of pieces that I made, I was a one-man band at that time. And I did the show, and I remember at the end of the show, my mom came. This was the first show that my mom came to. Out of all the years I've done it, my mom has never come to an show. And I think it was because, obviously, being, you know, a Jamaican parent, you had to go work, you had this job. And I was the third child, so I wouldn't say I wasn't important, but my brother was. Because he needed slightly a little bit more than I would. So, and I was considered a smart child, you know what I mean? So she was like, no, you're alright. But then just sit with you because you're alright. You know what? She just let me do everything. And I went to her and I was like, you're gonna come. And I bought her a ticket, I even bought her clothes, I got my sister to do her hair. I did everything, and she couldn't say no. Like, I got her like a VIP ticket. You're gonna sit at the front of the show, you're gonna see it. I remember I told the guy, like, sit her at the very end of the runway so she can watch me walk. And I remembered when I did that show, and that was one of the first shows that I did that she came to. I did other shows prior to that, but that was one of the first one that made me realize that, listen, things are going to get a little bit great after this now. This is going to level up. Got to the end of the show and I seen her face, and it's like, she looked at me, but it was like, oh my God, like, this was you, dear. And I remember trying to get there was lights and cameras and stuff, and I was trying not to cry because I was seeing her from the corner of my eye the first time. Like, her face just lit up and she gave me that look, like
that pride.
Yeah. And you know what I'm telling you, that was and I got the end and they gave like a standing ovation, and the way how they did that, and she looked, and it was like, wow, you know, and that made me feel so great. And out of that, I had a market manager, I had a stylist, I had all of these people.
But that's
all the power of just faith and just believing, even if others cannot see. Because other people at that time must have been thinking, like, you just had a baby, like, what are you doing? You know, you're supposed to be think about something that's 9 to 5 that you're sure of. But that's you. That ain't me, you know? And you have to sometimes, 9 to 5 is nothing's wrong with that. But if that's your lane, that's your lane. Sometimes you have to step out in faith and do what you're called to do, because in doing so, you might inspire that person that's been stuck in this 9 to 5 and want to know how to get out but don't know how to. So I was grateful that I did that, because in doing so, I've gained so many people, learned and learned from so many people, and helped so many people by just stepping out and letting them realize that it's possible. It might not seem like so at the start, but if you believe solely in yourself, I'm telling you, all things can happen.
That is amazing.
All things.
That is amazing.
Invest in yourself, people. Invest in yourself.
Definitely. And it's especially if the day and age that we live in now, anything's possible. Do we live in a world where there's so many things out, you just gotta find it, like find what can help you to get to where you need to. It's possible.
Find your purpose. So you mentioned your fashion show. What was your first fashion show like that you ever put on?
My first fashion show was when I was in college. And I wanted to do the fashion show. This I know I was called to do this thing because I wanted to do a fashion show that was linked to something like, you know, cancer research, something like that. I wanted to see if people would support things like that. And I wanted my shows to have a meaning. And I remember going to my college teacher, Emma, at the time, and I was saying to Emma, like, we need to link it to something. Like, we need to do this and raise money. And I remembered we did it, and in doing that, I ended up modelling for it, weirdly enough.
Okay.
I designed, but then I modeled for someone else, and I ended up in the newspaper for the first time.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my god, like really, I'm in the newspaper, and you know, I got the copy of it, and I was like, yeah, like, and this was when I realized that I really wanted to use what I had to touch other people, because we raised, I think it was like £300. And I was like, yeah, we're giving them £300, and it was because we did it with fashion base, and I was really excited. And that from that fashion show, I realized that like I can actually really go ahead and make this into something. And I was only in college at the time, but I knew that I could actually really make this a job, because that passion for it was more than just making clothes. Like I said, it was just passion, just really help people. And that was the first one. That was like early 2000.
So within your clothing brand, you have a few ranges and collections. Can you tell us a little bit more about those?
Yeah, so we have this, which is the more casual wear.
Yeah.
So like more, you can wear this like on a day out, or you can dress it up and dress it down, heels or trainers, whichever way is best for yourself. And we have like the signature range pieces. So the signature range pieces are all like the glitz and the glam and the sparkles.
Bling bling.
So it's like the glitz and the glam and the sparkles, and then you have like more the couture side, so the gowns and all the things that you wear to an award or prom and all of that.
Yes, we'll be needing those. Oh, boys, let's just speak that into existence.
Amen. Why not?
Awards,
Amen.
my wedding.
Amen.
Amen.
And then we have like the bespoke range. So whereas bespoke is more something that if you want something specifically done for your sides, we have that as well. So there's quite a few things going on, and we have the ready to wear. So the ready to wear is like a you have the couture collection, and you have the ready to wear, something that is quite day to day, but it's more of a ready to wear collection base. But you can easily get those stuff in probably, we're on a night out, we're on an interview, we're on a normal day to day. So yeah, there's quite
very versatile then.
Yes. I think there is a bit in there for everyone. Like if you don't like sparkles, trust me, I love sparkles. So you can always find sparkles in my stuff. Yeah.
What has been the most challenging part of your journey so far?
I would say juggling motherhood and business. Because I feel like sometimes you get so caught up in business that you think, oh my god, am I not being a good mom? Because there's at times when I would have so much going on, and I would leave the studio and I would go home and I would take stuff with me, and then my daughter she wants her mom and stuff, and like, I gotta get this done, baby. And I say this because like I'm very real. I say, some people think you're working for yourself, so what you put in is what you get out. So if you don't work, probably at the end of the month things are going to be difficult. So it's like, okay, I have to really do this so that at the end of the month all is well, kind of thing. And that's one of the most difficult things, and knowing that there's some times when I really want to just spend time with my daughter and I know I can't. And then that gets me all emotional, because I know that she needs me, she needs me, and when she does need me, I need to make sure that I'm there. And it does happen, but I really do feel like that's one of the hardest thing, and to do as a mom. And I feel like a lot of people face that as well, because I remember, when I did the whole interview with the BBC, and they were saying,
wait a minute now. Interview with the BBC, round of applause.
Thank you. When I did that, they came and they interviewed me, and they asked me if they can do it with my daughter with me and stuff. And I was like, yeah,
that's nice of them
so
too.
It was really nice. And she was only 2 at the time, and she sat down and they were just talking to her, and when they were talking to her, they were asking her questions, and she was so proud. She knew exactly what mommy did. She knew exactly what mommy did. She could tell them that mommy had a showroom, that she could tell them everything.
Oh, wow.
And just looking at that and just remembering myself that sometimes you cannot find the time to do the things with her, because but she still sees that you're hard at work. And to be able to look at someone that you don't know, you don't see on a daily basis, and tell them that my mom's a fashion designer, that just really warms my heart, because even though sometimes I might not be able to sit with her and probably do all the great things that sometimes she wants to, because of time and me putting into work, but I know she still sees the hard work and can really tell people that mommy's working hard and mommy does this and mommy does that. So I would say the difficult thing about it's not, I wouldn't say it's business related, because I feel like once you're driven to do anything as a business owner, and when you're passionate about things, no matter what difficulties come, you just be like, listen, there's a solution. And it's hard sometimes to say that, but I ain't got time to be thinking about, oh my God, no. There's a solution. Let's figure it out. How can we go down the other ways? I wouldn't even say there's that, but I would be real and I would say to people that is, for me, it's motherhood. And then, you know, when you're just starting out, not having the finances to set yourself the way you want to. Because when you have a big dream and big vision for yourself, it's like you think, the money, the pocket ain't saying that, the pocket ain't. So things like that when I just started was a thing. But I would, you know, you will face a lot of difficulties, but
you're here now, so you know.
When you called to do something, God will shift a couple of things. You know what I mean? He has a way of just, do you know what I mean, and let you go through kind of thing.
Making it happen.
Yes.
He will make a way, honey.
So going back to your store, what was the process like in obtaining a store? Say somebody wanted to get a store themselves, what would they need to do, or what would be the most important things?
Location. You gotta have a good location. Like, you gotta make sure that where you position yourself, people can find you, and that it's a place where you know, like when you go to a store, right, and you're in the little tilt, get into the tilt, you have little things on the side that they might want you to get, things like that. You can be going on your journey, but, oh, she's based there because the location is good. So location's perfect. You got to make sure that at the end of the day, it's accessible to get to. It's you also got to think, okay, then who is there? That will be your competition.
Yes.
Because you don't want to place yourself in like a store, a place where there's like 10 people there already, you're going to be the 11th. It doesn't really make much of a sense. So if you can place yourself in a place where you're the only one there, it looks good. And if someone else comes by, you will be the first. Do you know what I mean? So you will always have that. I think that's a good thing to think about first. Location is great. You got to position yourself. And if it's been, because I'm based closer to Central, the city centre, so it's like people will definitely find where I am, and they always pass by and stuff like that. So location's good. Location's good.
That's Birmingham, guys.
Yes,
for anybody who wants to know.
So what was the process like in the beginning, getting your clothes out there so people was wearing your clothes or want to buy your clothes? Because before there was Kashane Swaby, there was Kashane basically. So how did you get people to notice you?
I did a whole lot of shows. When I started, I did every show under the book. I did every one from A down to Z. I did it. I did every show, just to make people know who I was. You know, this is what I do. This is my style, and all these kind of things. And then I think from doing that, people got to know who I was. Like, it took a lot of hard work and a lot of sleepless nights, but it paid off. So I did a lot of shows. I did go into networking events. I did all the things. Like, I went everywhere. Like, I made it front and center. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is where I'm located. I did all of that. Because even when I was doing that, people probably thought I was there already, just because of the way I carried myself. From Jamaica, you have to carry yourself good. So I had that locked in that sense. And then as time progressed, I kind of stopped doing every show. Because then now you kind of set a pace for yourself, and it's no disrespect to no one's show or nothing like that. You start realizing, okay, I'm not going to do that show because that show is not where I want to be now. So I want to go over this side, so I need to be doing this kind of level of show. So you have to step up. Do you know what I mean? And then from doing that, I realized that people started to know who I was now, and I started to go to networking events, talk at events like that. And I start making a few little pieces for my families. Every little event that I'll make your outfit, but just know when I make it, I ain't gonna be making it for you. But for now, I can do the look. You know what I mean? So I did that, and I made sure that when they go there, they be like, "Oh, Kashane did that." I'm like, "Yes, me." So word of mouth was great, especially my family. You know, when you come from Jamaica and them know say you have a look at talent, them spread it. Like, wildfire, they spread it. So that family did a lot of that. And then I realized I started to get a lot more clients in now that weren't family. And then word of mouth became a thing, and then because I did Birmingham Fashion Festival, I ended up having my market manager, and she is a whiz. Like, she's so great. She sat down with me and defined my when I thought I had my brand sorted out, this lady made me realize that, listen, we're not gonna make it a hobby anymore. This is not something that you just like, but this is something that we're gonna set you up and make it you. And we went, I remember sitting on the phone with her, and we decode the whole thing from 9 all the way back. We normally have one meeting at 9 o'clock on Thursdays, and we'll be on the phone for hours. And that shows dedication, because people be like, how are you going to be on the phone for hours when you have a daughter and a child that you need to be... Listen, if I have to catch the phone and be sorting out, I'm going to catch the phone, because business needs to be done, but I still need to be a mom. When I get expand, I will be able to, you know? So... I really did a lot of shows and stuff like that, and then I started to specify the ones that I wanted to do, and then I realized that having my market manager, we sat down, we discussed it, and then we just changed it. We had social media, which was a great thing, and I positioned myself on social media, which ones are good for us, and we just reached out to so many people, and in doing that, like, paid off.
So, have you had any celebrities that you've styled?
So I've worked with the Angel, which is
the Angel,
which was really, really good. Like, that was good. That made me. You know what? The funny thing about that is, I remember my grandfather passed away like a year ago now, and I remember before he passed away, I was saying to God, like, God, I not to be big-headed, but I was like, God, I feel like people in Birmingham don't know who I am. So I need to get up here a little, just a little bit, you know, just a little 0.5, a little bit, just to work it up a little bit. And I was praying, I was like, I'm the Angel. And I remember sitting down, and her name came to me, and Keisha White name came to me, and I was like, okay, internet, and I typed it in. And I remember just dropping her a message, the Angel a message. No, I didn't even think this woman was going to message me back. Do you know what I mean? My market manager's always said to me, it's better you do this, because the least I can say is no. If you get a no, you just move on to the next.
You don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly. So I did reach out to her, and she messaged me. She said to me, oh, I'm on my way to a show now, but I'll get back to you. And I think it was like 3 days later, she messaged me. She was like, when she messaged me, she started sending me like all my work back. I was like a bit confused, because I'm like, what do I say? What do I do? So I was like, thank you. Thank you. And she was like, I like this one. And she was like, oh, so Unruly Fest is gonna come in a couple of weeks and stuff, and I would like this one with that, but can we cover this one here, and can we do this here, can we add? I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay. And look, thinking about it, I was like, I had 3 weeks to make this thing, send it to Jamaica, do a fitting, get the fabrics, everything, and make it get to her on time. Wow. Girl, I worked like dog rotten. Like, I was proper working, and I corresponded. She was like, here's my number. Just drop me a message on WhatsApp. I was like, this woman's giving me a number. WhatsApp. Girl, we became like connecting and stuff. And I made her the outfit, and I sent it off, and she said to me, I think it was like the couple of days before the actual event, and she was like, oh, I just got it on the Tuesday, and girl, it fit. And she started sending me videos, it looks nice, and this and that. And I was so excited, because I remember this was something that I asked God about. No one knew that I said this, it was just myself. I was speaking to God, and I was like, God, you need to get up there a little bit more. Like, I was like, God, if you call me to this thing, you gotta bring me where you need to. And when you bring me there, it's not for me, but I'm an instrument to your hands, and you've got to let me get there.
I love that.
And through me doing this, a lot of people will see that it's not just Kashane. There's a greater power behind Kashane, and if you do this for me, God, then at least I know for a fact that you're hearing these prayers, and I'm not alone. And when he did that for me, I remember doing that, opened a lot of doors, because I mean, so many people reached out to me. Like, it was crazy, because I had people in Jamaica messaging me for the same outfit, thinking I was in Jamaica.
Wow.
And I was saying to them, no. I'm not in Jamaica, I'm in England. But if we can't get it to you, they were like, okay, but if the Angel buy this, that means enough money, so we can't. And they were trying to scale it down to get an outfit that looks like the Angel's outfit. And I remember doing that, and then the name Keisha White, and I remember reaching out to Keisha White as well, and I was just talking to her, and I was like, you know, there's a song that she sang, and I was like, I remember that song was one of the biggest songs. Witness in Me, man. Witness in Me, that song was like every tune song. Like, that was a big song. Yes. And I remember reaching out, and I was just telling her that the song was nice. And the same thing happened.
Wow.
And I was like, God, no, you're up to some big thing. And she was like, and we end up exchanging numbers and stuff, and we talking, and she even got to talk to my daughter and wanted to meet my daughter, and we just got talking, and now we're cool, and now I'm a part of the Angel Design team. So she's got talk. And that's only because of stepping out in faith and trusting God. Now, if I stopped and didn't listen to all the people that was telling me, you have a baby and you got to think about 9 to 5. If I listened to that, I wouldn't be able to do all of these things.
The blessings.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So sometimes you have to step. Even if you don't know to the step, just step and trust God to hold that leg.
Walk by faith and
not
not by sight.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
So I did all of that.
Get me the spirit now, man. Hey.
So I did all of that. And to know that I'm working with these two amazing ladies. And then the other day again, I was just like, okay, God, my market manager like, listen, D. And she would sometimes just leave me to do things. And I'm like, you can't do that. This is what you're here for.
That's tea with us.
Because I want to see that you're learning, and if you can, no, she's always saying like, but D, if anything happens, you gotta make sure you can manage this thing. You're building this thing, you gotta make sure you can manage all the areas of it. And the other day, I think I sent Alikai Harley.
Girl, I love me some Alikai Harley. I'm sorry, I love her.
I tried to send her a message, and I was just like,
we're just so Team Jamaica.
Yeah.
Listen, carry on with the story.
I was just telling her that I'm just grateful for the fact that she's representing Jamaica.
See, that's how
I like people to represent where I'm from. That's crazy because good people come from Jamaica.
They don't understand. I see Alikai Harley. I see me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I messaged her, and she sent me back a message. And I was like, okay, we were talking, and she's like, I'm gonna check your stuff out. And now there's another one there, and that's just by faith. So I just got to tell you, like, honestly, and I say these things because I'm not even trying to toot my own horn, but it's just to show you that when you pray, when you believe, you can move mountains.
We need to normalize the fact that we've accomplished something, and it's okay for us to be in that moment and to be thankful and be like, I did this because you worked hard for it. It's not like it was handed to you. So we need to make that a thing that it's normal to be like. It's not being big-headed or boastful, but it's normal to be proud of your accomplishments, especially when you know where you came from and the work that went into it. So true, your own work.
Yes. Honestly, like, within the first year of going into this, to have a show and then have the show sold out, and then not only have that
sold out,
and then to have The Voice covered the whole show, and then having
that's
the
BBC, Voice newspaper.
Oh yes.
Okay, that's a big deal.
And then to have the BBC approach you like you approach them. That there is because I remember my market manager called me, and when she called me, I thought she was joking because I was like, "Girl, we don't play them kind of ways. You know? We don't play where we're from them kind of ways." And she was like, "No." And girl, I remember I screamed because I'm thinking like, "Boy, they don't know me like that yet."
Yeah, that's big.
I was just starting. I'm just a little tiny person in Birmingham. How do you find me? And they found me.
How did they find you? No.
They interviewed me. Came to my own place. They interviewed me with my own daughter, and then says to me, "Can we do a cover on the show?"
See, they saw that in you before.
Before you saw it in you.
You know what I mean? And then on top of that, they invited me to the radio station. They then came to it was like a constant work with them. I went to the radio station, then another one wanted to interview me, and it was just like I was on the night, the Sunday show, I was on the breakfast show.
Yes, honey.
I hadn't even done anything yet like that. But these are the signs that God showed you that, listen, I'm not allowing things to show you that I'm with you.
You're on the right path.
You know what I mean? These things that he showed, and I was so grateful. And then to have them say that, you know, we've got your back, that kind of thing, you know. That was a good thing for me. Like, that was great. And these are the things I say to people, like, I don't take them for granted. I don't take them lightly. Because you can be up today and be down tomorrow.
Yes.
But the thing that you gotta remember is if you're up today, look at the things that make you on your high. Stay on the high. Do the thing. Don't just say, "Oh yeah, I'm set now.
Don't set
No,
no.
keep working, keep pushing.
Let yourself be your own competition.
Yeah.
I'm not. I know there's so many designers in Birmingham, but I ain't competing with nobody.
That's what we say. We ain't competing with nobody.
You are you for a reason. You are you for a reason,
true,
and I'm
it's
so
true.
grateful, man. I'm really grateful because these things I look back and when times seem a little bit hard, and you kind of lose sight of, oh my God.
Yeah.
You think to yourself, oh yeah, but I did that. Then I can do this. Do you know what I mean? Things like that, they happen for a reason. So yeah,
Gratitude
I'm grateful
is
for the celebrities that I've worked with. I've spoken to Shenseea as well.
Okay.
There's
So wait, can we just drop things?
I was supposed to design something before, but the whole corona and stuff, but we're getting there.
Don't worry.
It's coming.
Yeah, the world moves on, we gonna pass it.
Okay.
No, but honestly, I'm grateful for the people that, and the funny thing is, even if sometimes when you don't make anything for them at the time, the fact that they know your name is a great
they're
name.
gonna come back.
They know your name, and that's
They're gonna come looking for you.
Think about it. Yeah.
I'm grateful. I'm really grateful.
That's good. Are you still in contact, in touch with the BBC and?
Yeah, we were speaking the other day about the show that we released yesterday, but because obviously the show is based in the Caribbean, it was hard for them to cover it. But we do talk. We talk to the newspaper and the Voice, and as well I was on the TV. That was another thing. That was like, girl, I was
girl, you gotta stop this joke.
I remember I was heading to the studio and I said to my market manager I heard about Made in Birmingham TV.
Yeah.
And I said to my market manager, walking to, I was like, listen, I want to go on Made in Birmingham TV. Now she's one of the people that she likes crazy stuff. So if you say that, she's gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Yeah, we're gonna do this for you. She's already done say it, it's gonna happen. And I remember she was like, okay, what about them, where they are? I was like, they're based on the same road that I am. They're just down the road.
Yeah.
But I've never been there, but I want to go on the TV.
Yeah.
I remember she just hit them up and God, they're like, okay, we're gonna come to the studio, we're gonna do an interview. And I remember that this time I was working really hard for the show, and I wasn't getting no sleep. I left my daughter at my sister's for 2 whole weeks. That was one of the hardest things to do because I felt like I just neglected being a mom. And I was sleeping at the studio, I was working, I would cry. I would only go home for food and have a shower and come right back. I'm talking from 9 all the way to the next morning and do the same thing again for weeks. And I remember the day that they said they were going to come, I was stopping at the studio and I was like, okay, gotta get home, gotta have a shower, gotta come back. And I did all that, I was tired, so tired. But then when he came on the TV, I remember sitting in the sofa and at home, and my market manager was like, they said it's going to come on at this time. So I sat there and I was waiting for it to come on, and my daughter was in the room at the time, didn't tell her. And I remember sitting down in the sofa and it came on and I was like, oh my God. I'm on the big screen kind of thing. And she was like, Mom, you're on the TV. And I remember when she said, and just to think, I stayed up so much time just to make these things happen, doing that, showing that no one knew how tired I was. But to see how she just lit up. Things like that, I look back and think, listen, girl, the days when you feel like you can't, remember those days, you can. You so can. But yeah, man.
That's amazing.
What advice would you give to someone who wanted to get into fashion?
I would say, first, be true to yourself. Because we live in a day and age where people think, okay, I can go on YouTube and I could learn. And if you're doing it for the money, at first the money won't come. So you fall off because you think, Lord, I'm not making the money. And you get so blindsided by everyone else who somehow seems to be making it, the Instagram life. And then you realize that it's not for me because it's not giving you what you want at first. You've got to love it and be true to yourself. If you're true to yourself and you love it, trust me, the money might not come today, but you're still there trying to grind hard. Do you know what I mean? You've got to do that first, and then you've got to then get the right things. If it's college, if it's uni, go for it. Do whatever it takes, the steps, and don't try and cut corners. Because when you cut corners, it won't really help. Do you know what I mean? You're trying to get somewhere and you're missing, like what was said, the process. There's things you got to learn in that process. Steps to it. So if you got to go college, if you got to go uni, do all of those kind of stuff. If you got to take a year out to get experience, do it. Whatever it takes. Because what you're trying to do is you're not trying to make quick money, but you're trying to make money that will last and set you up for life. And that's it. That's the whole thing. And set something solid. For myself, I wanted to set something solid so that my daughter was okay. You know, and you get from Jamaica, you think your parents will always think it's not about me, it's about you, and they'll try to set things up for you. And I had that in my household, so I wanted to make sure that I was true to that when it comes to my daughter. So if God forbid that anything happened, I want to make sure that she's well taken care of because I've set those things in place. And be true to yourself. Go to college, work hard, dedication, enjoy the sleepless nights because you will have many. Enjoy just rolling up in uni in your PJs because I did many of that. Sleeping in the library just
wait. You didn't say rolling up to uni in the PJs.
We were rolling up in onesies because there's some times when you just couldn't do all the dress up thing. You just listen. I roll out of the bed and I went to uni. I know we had some nasty days back then, but it was just to make sure you get that degree and you were good.
Yeah.
Everybody at uni was a bit, nasty. We started up looking all great, dressing up nice, but then when the workload turned up, we were just do all of those kind of stuff. Make sure you network, make people know who you are, get your name out there, speak up, and find what you stand for. People can stand for anything, but find what you stand for. What's the story you want to tell? What impression and things you want to leave on people? Things like that will help you to stand when things ain't great. Because I'm telling you, when you start, when you're starting a business or when you're going through something or trying to, even if it's common studying it, you need to find something that will hold you when hard times hit you. Do you know what I mean? And for me, when times weren't the greatest, I remembered all those things that if I fell off now, these little children or the next generation of people that I want to inspire, probably they won't be as inspired because there won't be because everyone's trying to think and be this Instagram life and we can't really, you got to be true. You got to be true. When we were doing our campaign promo video the other day, I was shooting it at a castle. Now, bear in mind, I'm coming from a place where we never seen all of that kind of stuff. So to be able to shoot in a castle like that and then such a big place, something iconic like that, that's an accomplishment for myself. And then to have, these little kids that were passing by and watching the shoot, and just to see how they're like, Mom, look. Things like that for me made me realize that other people are watching you that you don't even know. So if you're faking it and you're doing all of these little things to live the so-called life, and it ain't gonna happen because at some time you're gonna fall. Be true, because when you're true, people will be more attracted to the truth rather than a lie. Do you know what I mean? And in doing those things, you inspire people, and then it becomes more and bigger than you. So, do you know what I mean? So then when hard time hits, you have a reason to say, okay, then I'm not doing it for other people, but I'm doing it to help people to find their purpose, or doing it to help them to stay on the track. Things like that I like to do, and I think things like that you have to really think about solely when you're doing business or wanting to start something. You have to be true to yourself and find those things that will bring you comfort in the hard times.
Some good messages in that.
Really, you have to speak to yourself. Girl, I'm telling you, there's no time like this. God, why couldn't you just make me have a 9 to 5 that I was okay with, Like, find me something that I could just go work and come home and be alright. But there was something missing. Even I did the 9 to 5, there's something that was missing, and I didn't know. I didn't know what it was, but when God took my hours down from there and brought it to 0, He made me realize that this was what's missing.
Your time.
It gave me that time, and I'm so grateful for it.
Praise God.
So where can we find your store?
So you can find my store in Broad Street. So it's 111 Broad Street, 14 the Square, and it's a big brown building. So you cannot miss it. Trust me. Once you find Cineworld, it's literally across the road. You can also find me on Instagram, which is Kashane Swaby UK, on all social media platforms. And you can find my website, which is www.kashaneswaby.com. Everything's on there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, it's that time again. It's that time again. It's Rasta time. Shout out to our sponsors, Danes Catering, for your deliveries. If you're local to the Brum area, also does events and parties. Then shouts out to Say It With Lex as well for your t-shirt printing, your quilts, your pillows, your water bottles. She prints everything. Everything. Shout out to K.G Holistic Herbs for your mucus-less cleanse blend, your antiviral blend, your Seamoss gel, and that's all natural and organic. And yeah, all information will be available down below in the description box and also via our Instagram, which is a trade if you are one. If you're not following, you should be. You can see now.
And as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe and share your experiences with us below.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.